We don't win, no, we don't win. So the last time we say we hope say Nigerians they go put the Falcons go put smile for our face, and as you can see us already we are smiling. You get one joy where they come with winning, and you get pain where they come with defeat. We don't experience the pain the other time, and now we experience the joy where come with winning. But we know what make it stop here because we still get one more hurdle before we go to the next round. We know one situation they will come to put us the way the Super Eagles normally they do us. If we win, if Congo can't beat these people, if Saudi Arabia can't draw these people, we go qualify.
If.
Yes, so we don't come up for that era of if, and we won't come out. We never see Falcons put us for that situation before, and we dey hope say come our next match we go get that winning mentality as we don already start out with the last match we will play against the Zambians. So quick one before we go into the main analysis, make Silas give us the normal talk wey he always give us before we proceed for our program. But quick one, make we talk about our take for the match in general, how we see the match, how we see the approach and everything before we go into Silas details.
Yeah, I would give it to the management and the coach. You know, when someone is called out for not doing something right and that person does it, credit should be given to that person. One key thing I would say about the match is, number one, we did not go into that match with too much of being overconfident. We actually respected the Zambians. Like I said the last time, when your defense is leaky, you don't need to over disrespect the other opponent. And the Barbara of a lady, we know how pacey and she was. So we were careful. We were careful in our approach. We got the goal and we struggled with one woman down. But at the end of the day, we had the 3 points. So it's a good one. It's a beautiful one. Going forward, I believe there will be more corrections and more changes. So that's my summary take on the last match.
Yes, for me personally, not so convincing win for the Super Falcons. But we have to factor in that they were a woman down. They were a woman down.
Yeah, before the feminine word, say why a man down.
We just have to yes, of course. Yes. Right. So and then how we managed the game, especially in the second half after the red card. But I'll give it to Coach Moses has said. We'll give it to the management, the staff, the coaching staff, and the coach himself, Madugu, for making obvious changes that we ourselves even called out that we wanted to see. So the obvious changes, like tactically, like from tactical point of view, using double pivots instead of a single pivot to help offensively and defensive phases. So yes, kudos to the management and the entire Super Falcons. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, indeed, congratulations to the Falcons, and we hope more congratulations will still come their way as the tournament progresses. So Silas, take us to how we won the match and the areas we won, the areas we felt we should have done better and everything. So let's go down to the tactical analysis of what you always give us every time on our show. So let's have it.
All right. The game ended 1-0 in favor of Nigeria Super Falcons. Without further ado, let's analyze what went on, how it happened, and the tactical ideas that ultimately decided this match for us. Without further ado, let's analyze. Now, the Super Falcons, unlike the first match, used a double pivot in the build-up phase. So we see a 4-2 double pivot, 4-2 build-up, and 4 attackers just in front of them, with a number 10 behind the striker. Now this, and even in the mid-block, when we had 3-2 build-up shape, we had 2 pivots, very important, 2 pivots, and then we stretched the defense with 5 attackers on the Zambians' defensive line. Just stretch up the pitch, and then we can always move the ball. It gave us more control in the pitch. Defensively, we were also very good. the double pivot helping to protect that middle lane, that that central channel that the Malawi girls, the Chawinga sisters, used to hurt us. And then we're very compact. I'll give it to players like Michelle. In the last match, she was very aggressive in her press, but in this one, she was very compact, staying on her line, as you will see. And then we also were very, I have to give Oshoala credit. We were very good on the counter. She was a counter target, and then she was always willing to make those runs into the into space and attack the space that is behind the Zambian defense. And she was very fast. She was really good at it, and the game plan was good and sustainable as long as Oshoala was running. And then she had those legs. She was really fast. So that was the game plan for the first half until we scored the goal. You can see her running again, attacking space. You can see her trying to beat her man. Of course, she doesn't. But this was Nigeria's game plan. Okay, because they were sending those long balls. You see them sending long ball again. Compact defensive shape. We win the second ball, and then Oshoala is running. You can see her very agile. And then the pass goes, and then you see she bends her run through the defender, and then she gets that goal for us. Very easy, very simple. Is it sustainable? Yes. We defend, we counter. With 2 passes, we are already scoring. Very important. The double pivot helps us in progressing the ball further up, especially in the build-up phase. If you see one of our pivots is marked, but they cannot mark the other pivot, and it's free. And she can turn and then progress the ball to the other side of the field. And you can see how our left centre back has space to progress the ball into the mid block, and then we can take our various, and you can see a 2v1 overload on the left hand side. See that double pivot again, winning the ball and then moving it forward. Very important. When we mention things about double pivot, it's not just a trend, a tactical trend. There are reasons behind the success, or even great managers like Guardiola have used this system in recent years and succeeded with it. After the red card, he was basically defending. When we're defending, we still do that double pivot. So the match simply was us defending and then going long. And we have to appreciate the tactical brilliance and then flexibility of the Super Falcons. Going into the game, you think we want to pass here, pass there, possession football. But no, there was space behind. If there's space behind the defense and they were not sitting deep, the Zambian defense, they were not sitting deep. Let's attack that space. Let's score. Let's get the win however we can. And the Super Falcons did just that. That rounds up our tactical overview of the match.
That's a nice one. Thank you for that wonderful take and straight to the point. But you might even miss the match and get everything that went in that match, like everything that played in that match, and get it from what Silas just pinpointed now for us. This was a good take, and we saw everything that happened and we understood very well. On the show, the last time we asked for, we said the coach took some veterans to the competition, and it's like we are now seeing why those veterans are there. We saw assistants, she not be done, but we didn't new to the game again. Now, person already day into the system. She already soaked herself inside the competition already. So whatever pressure that is coming, I would say she should absorb like some years back. Yes. And we saw the experience she brought to the team, leading the line for the Falcons, and she got us the goal that won us the match.
And let me just add something. Add something to that goal. If you look at the goal very well, it wasn't just the goal. She timed her run very early, and even though there was a defender in front of her, she bent her run to the other side of the defender. So it was too late for the defender to even realize that, oh, she's gone to my right hand side, let me stop her. And then she was very the composure.
So in other words, she ran through her blind spot.
Yes. Exactly. Okay. Exactly. She bent her run and then went to the blind spot, and then she was, this is what we say, experience.
You understand? So now this is something let me not disrespect the younger attackers that we have, but this is something that only veterans can give you. You get, even in the men football, we see Cristiano Ronaldo doing it. We think it's magic. No, Somebody has played, he has been in the game for like 21, 22 years now. You can't compare him to the present Benjamin Sesko that Manchester United is having. You understand?
No shit.
So,
just
yes.
to agree with you.
No shit.
I think over the weekend, like a week ago, I read where he was saying that if he was at Real Madrid, he would teach Mbappe how to actually play closer to the box, and he would score more goals. So that's him talking from experience.
Exactly. So those are things veterans see that normal professional you don't just get it. So you need to work your way in. So how do we see the impact Assis had brought into the team in our last game?
From, as I've said, from our tactical, she was everything we needed, especially as a counter target option. Very fast, very agile, always willing to run into space, to attack that space. And of course, it's good that she got that goal very early on in the match, because we can't be expecting her to be running, making those runs throughout the match or throughout the time she will be in the match. But she made it count. She just needed 2 chances, and then she put us up. So very, very good, very, very impressive.
In general, we talked about having double pivots in our last program, and when you play with somebody you already know, I think it's easier than playing with somebody you're just meeting. Let's say you just train for some time, and Deborah Abiodun and what's it called? This other our number 10, what's that name? Christy Achebe.
Okay.
They've been in the team for, if I'm not mistaken, more than 6 years together as teammates. They've played WAFCON. I think they've won double already. They've won 2 WAFCON titles together already. They've won, and they went to World Cup together also. Yeah. So you could see they already have this understanding between
chemistry.
You understand? So it was easier for the 2 of them to play. Now, that's our game we lost against this, what's it called?
Malawi.
The Malawians. You could say that the girls were trying to force things, but with Christy and Deborah, they played entirely like they've been together for ages. You get? Going forward in the competition, you still want the coach to maintain that same set, or because of that Zambians, he only did that to protect the defense. Or we just feel the defense still needs more protection also. You don't just expose them again going into the competition.
Okay, thank you very much. So the thing is, generally in modern football now, when you're building in the defensive third and you want to build through short passes, you don't want to go long. It's very hard to actually build with a single pivot. That's just a 1-6, right? Some teams they build with 2, some even build with 3. You're gonna have 3, 1 just at the central channel, 1 in the half space of their defensive third, the other one 3, and they have their center backs go wide and all that. So it is very, very important. It has nothing to do with who you're playing with. Whoever you're playing with, it just allows for that free flow of, because this is the idea now. This is the why the double pivot is important. Most teams now that build from the back, the defending team actually press high. So when they press high, they press most times with maybe the number 9 and the number 10. Most times they take a 4-4-2 off the ball. So when they are pressing with their first line of press, 2 first line of press, the number 9 and number 10, they are positioned in the way one chases the ball. Maybe let's say one of the center backs, the other one like inverts to cover the passing lane. Then you have the double pivot behind. So if the other team, the defending team now, if they are number 6 and they are number 8 steps forward now to actually press those guys, it leaves that the team with the ball, like, so you have 2 guys at the first line pressing, second guy is behind taking the double pivot, like marking them, right? So you have 4 players that if you can beat, you've beaten 4 players now. So but if it's just one single pivot and 2 people are on the pivot, right, they could easily steal the ball. But if it's 2, you get to see they stay in the staggered line, they can play to themselves 1-2 combination and they beat the press. So, and it takes that pressure off just that single pivot. Even Rodri, I would say, even the Rodris of this world, you get to see Olmo and Fabian Ruiz dropping most times in the build-up. So it allows for the team to have that width. It allows for the team to actually attract the press closer to the goalpost, while the number 9, like they stay on the halfway, keeping that depth. So it is the way of modern football. He should continue to do it, not depending on who he's playing. Then the moment they're able to beat the press, they go into the mid-third. That's when you see that most times the single pivot will now remain as rest defense, serving as security for the center backs, while the number 8 that dropped to help as one of the double pivot will now move into one of the half spaces. Then the number 10 will now go into the other one. So they have 2 players as AMF at that moment in the mid-third while they're trying to go into the attacking third. So to just answer you like I tried to explain, it is not something you do out of who I'm playing. It is just the modern way of playing. You build with double pivot. Once the ball leaves your mid-third, goes to the your defensive third, it goes to the mid-third, then guys will switch. It allows for free flow and all that.
Yeah. And our defense, we saw some adjustments, not in terms of the players, but we saw Aluze going back to her favorite position and having her running that right hand side of our defense was something else that, in fact, it's not new to us because we already know the quality she brings as a right back. So we saw the coach twisting everything back to the way it was supposed to be, and then we complained about our central defenders not having those legs. You get. But we saw them stepping up, to keep Barbara at bay, like for 90 minutes.
Even cost us.
You understand? Yes. You understand now? Like we even needed to get a red card, if not
to stop her.
You get to stop her. So credits to our defenders that day, and credit to the goalkeeper. The last time we were pouring out our anger and everything on them, but the very first time they did something well in the competition, we should still give them their praise also. So my question now is, considering the red card that our player got in that match, who do you think will be the person to step up covering that space? Like, do you see the coach deploying, bringing out, trusting on the other centre backs that we have in the team, or you feel one of the midfielders like Christy, she can play as a central defender also. Christy plays very well as a central defender. Do you see Christy going back to fill that space which the other player has left open for us?
I think the coach knows his players very well. He trains with them, so he should be able to make that call by picking who is more suitable. But then it can be based off the opponent, and then the capabilities of the person you want to slot in. Is he aggressive enough? Is she fast enough? The DM, the defensive midfielder you are saying, Christy, can play as a centre back. Of course, we have seen a lot of defensive midfielders who can play as centre back, but do they have that aggressiveness? And we'll see. I trust the coach. And
so it is us now trusting the coach to come up with somebody that he thinks will do the job better for the team.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. And quick one before we begin to wrap things up. We saw on that last match also, we saw how the red card affected the whole gameplay. You get, and our qualification is not even guaranteed now.
Yeah.
We still need that 3 points before we start talking about head to head. Before we start talking about goals, depending on what the results of the Malawi and Zambia ladies will play. Now, do you see the coach going all out against the Egyptians on our last group game match? Because we need goals. If eventually the team falls down to using goals for your qualification, we need goals. And the Egyptians now, they have nothing to play for a game. I think they lost their 2 matches. Yeah. But it's also a game of pride for them, beating the defending champions. So they will still come outside to always want to hurt the Falcons. So do you see the coach going out all out attacking, or he will just be careful as he's attacking. He wants to also secure the backline of the Falcons on that.
Okay, it's a match, of course, that we are confident that we're going to come on top. We will be victorious. Like you rightly said, we need those goals to actually close up the margin. And so when we start pressing our calculators, it turns out in our favor. So we need those goals. I think it shouldn't be a proactive one. It shouldn't be... the coach should not go with an approach of us being careful or anything, Apart from the first match, no disrespect to the Egyptian team. They are no match for us. They are no match for us, right? But then, if there were changes he made, I just have to touch on a question you didn't ask, but I'll just say something. These ladies have always played. It's them playing, I'm telling you. Yeah, I have no bitterness or anger towards the coach, but I'm just saying it. You can't give what you don't have. It's them playing. It's them organizing themselves. It's them sitting, guys, we have to do this, Nigerians out there are saying it, that we know we are underfunded, the structure is not there for us, and we've been one source of pride to them in decades. We just have to go all out and do it. I believe it was more of self-motivation amongst those super ladies that you saw that performance out there. I can bet you. People could have contrary opinions, but I'm telling you, they've always turned up, even without those structure and funding or better coaching and all that. To tell you how good they are, we saw the kind of football they played under Randy. Like they were controlling play, penetrating the midfield. They would build from the center, and if there are logs, they go back, they start. They played that ball little under Randy. See, I don't watch a lot of female football, but I enjoyed a bit of them under Randy. I could tell the kind of football they played, So, the coach has to do more now. By more, I mean keep the shape, keep the players, and bring in, because we had players like Yapane and Co, who had good starts in the MLS, in the United States Women League, and all that. Bring on these players. They've got this space, and if it needs be, let's bring players that have this chemistry. If these guys play, can we have our upfront, have these players who play in the MLS, all of them, the United States Women League, can we have them with our assistants, with our experience? Can we have them finish the job for us? Can we have those double DM that have played for us, that can we have them together? Do you understand? Because this decoy underlapping, and with due respect, most of all these are Koronko and Co, they do it in their leagues, but they're here and they're running through the half space. Someone is holding the ball, and she is expecting you to actually play the ball ahead for her to, So I think enough of fielding people that the glass house wants. It backfired in the first match. Let's field our best now going forward.
Okay, we'll wrap things up with this final take. I would say the game against the Zambians, because we're still talking about the Zambian ladies and the Falcons team. So the game against the Zambians, we tried to contain them. Yes, even when we still went one woman down, let me not say one man down. Why still went one woman down? We still saw how we still managed to control the game. And if you check our possession that day, I think we were like this with them head to head in terms of possession level. It wasn't an easy match though. So do we see the let me not say do we see. We saw Madugu at the sideline there. He was even communicating with the assistant also. And we spoke about it the last time that he likes doing things his way. So was it under pressure, or was it out of pressure that he needed help from the assistant that day, or it was just something that was just natural that he needed to do at that moment? Because as a coach, he just wants to do his things and let the consequences of whatever happens be upon him. But that day we saw him. I think that was the first time I was seeing him going to the assistants, asking for probably tactical help. Or
they don't put fire for Inyash now. They don't put fire for Inyash.
So do we see something? Do we want something like that to continue, or we want it the other way, the way he has been doing?
You know, in our last take on the pre-match analysis for the match, I said something here. I said even if, in as much as it is the ultimate prayer and wish that Nigeria qualifies, if fire will be burning most of the time for us to get this right, let that fire continue to burn. Let it burn so that those who need to call 911 will call 911. You understand? Because you don't. Must we wait for fire to always come before we try to make sure that we put things in place that will bring down the fire? We always like this 9-minute fire brigade approach. It's not good for our football. So you don't need to be in those kind of hot seats before you begin to consult and all that. And like I said, going forward, he has to feel the best, and he has to be listening to. There is no pride. If he needs to be making 3 hours call before a match or 2 days before a match, calling, I believe he called people who are inclined on modern football, because it doesn't. It's not accidental that you played. Who plays a single pivot? And you understand? Then second match, all of a sudden, we had it. Then it means that that thing was not from him.
Yeah.
Or if it was not, maybe from his crew or somewhere else. Wherever in they go collect soap, make him go that place, they collect soap. Make it they collect that soap till the match go end. I might take that.
I bet you better soap. Okay, we want to wrap everything up now, and we are still hoping, definitely, as Falcons. We said already that they have never placed us in this kind of situation before, where we need to be using our calculators to see if we could get our qualification to the next phase. But this time around, it's likely to happen, but we pray and hope that when we handle the Egyptians, you know that saying, they say the Egyptians you see today, you will not see them. we hope that day
then go collect.
They will see. We will bring fire. We have something in our team. We have Delilah. We have everybody. Everybody. So that's it for the Falcons and the Zambian game. And we hope you enjoy what we do and keep following us for more updates. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much.
Super Falcons, fly high.